Can I start a podcast episode with a swear word? Because I really want to. It feels right. So, fucking hell. Here we are. It's a Tuesday, and a Tuesday in my world means a podcast deadline to get the episode off to my editors so that they can get it ready for when it comes out to you, which is Monday midnight, right? And this past week has been a bit of a shit show in terms of curveballs, left, right, and centre. And so I had some ideas earlier on in the week about what to record a podcast episode on. I don't have the brain capacity right now to even remember what those episodes were. And I don't think that I have it in me at this moment to do whatever they were to do them justice. And so this episode tonight, or now that you're listening to, is a very real, raw version of it's just real life. I don't have any notes. I'm just going to talk from the heart, see what comes out. Because I do have a really strong mindset and I've literally built a business. So I trained as a hypnotherapist, but what I do now is so much more than that. It's about teaching people the mindset that I have. I call myself a joyful living coach. I teach people how to live with joy and ease and how to face any situation, how to have a really strong, ever growing, always growing mindset. So somebody can work with me for 4 months and then know how to continuously evolve for the rest of their life, because we are always evolving. Talked about this on my group call last night. Nobody is ever a finished product. That's just not it. That's not what we're here on this earth for. We're just here to learn. And if we're not learning, then we can be stuck in a loop, struggling. Okay. So the way I live my life is to always continuously be evolving, because that's how I've developed the mindset to be. And so it doesn't necessarily, well, it does change your reality, because obviously the universe gives you a reflection of what you're an energetic match for. But I don't want to go down a rabbit hole of manifestation. That's a completely different episode. But we're co-creating. And what that means is that we are always manifesting. Okay. We don't just manifest something positive that we want to bring into our lives. We're always manifesting. Every single situation in our lives is manifested from energy that we have put out further back. So the thoughts we have and the vibrations that we are putting out into the universe today will come back in the shape of an experience further down the line. More on that in a future episode. I really do want to do another one on manifestation. So the way I teach people is we don't have control of what is happening to us. We just don't have control. So I teach how to just let it be and to live a life of ease and flow and to just cope the best you can possibly cope, to be resilient, strong, positive, confident, joyful in the face of whatever comes your way. And because you vibrate when you are like this, when you're living a life that is joyful and it's just joyful, you're vibrating at a high frequency, which means that you attract more positive experiences than you would have before. Anyways, stuff still happens, right? Because the universe is always giving us things for us to learn from. And so I recognize, actually, this came to me on one of my group coaching calls this week. It came to me as I shared something with one of my mentees that I had this fear ever since I became a mum. I had this fear of having to, well, a fear of getting ill, basically, because I've never been one to be good at being ill. Who is, right? But seriously, I know I hate being ill. And I know that ever since I've had the girls, I've had this fear of being ill whilst being a mum, because you can't just switch it off, right? They always need you. And the way things are in our household at the moment is that, unfortunately, if the girls need something in the night, it's got to be me. And so I got ill last week, and the universe delivered this experience to me whereby I got ill and one of my girls already had chickenpox. So not only did I have to be ill and still do the job as a mum, but be ill and look after an ill child, which is like one step further. Thank you, universe. And so the lesson for me is that I can absolutely do this. I can drag my sorry ass out of bed. Oh, I've lost count, you know. Ask me a couple of months ago, a bad night for me would have been 6 get-ups. But this past week with one of my girls having chickenpox, bless her, she has really struggled. And I have lost count over the nights over the past week. So it's just been hard, hard work. I've been getting up whilst feeling ill myself, but just getting through it. And so to me, it was a lesson from the universe that I can cope. You know, I can be ill and still be a mum. So to not fear that anymore. And I have so much self trust in myself and in myself as a business owner as well. And so it's not affected me having to not being able to do the things that I want to in my business. I have a lot of support in my business. And so I've just felt very supported by that. And just have found that, as I always do, I lean into the things that are going to keep me in my intellectual mind. Remember, we've got two parts that we can operate on from in our brain. And when life gets hard, when a situation comes up that's hard, you are more vulnerable to dipping down into your primitive brain because it feels hard. And so you just feel more negative and you stop doing the things that were bringing you joy because you just feel negative. You know, that is what feels the go to way because our brain is primed for negativity and we just stop doing the things that we would be doing if we were feeling joyful. Yeah. For me, because it's so hardwired, the mindset that I have, I just, you know, with one of my girls being ill, I still really look for the positives and look for the reasons that I am grateful. And to be honest with you, I don't even need to look, like they're always there. This is a hardwired thing in my brain to just be grateful. Like, yes, the universe sent me this week for me to cope with looking after one of my girls whilst I am ill, but the timing of it was absolutely almost perfect. It was my husband's last day in teaching. And so he was able to go in a little bit late, and I had to be with my girls. And then as soon as he got home, I could rest. And that timing is brilliant because now he's around. He's been able to let me rest more. And because I've been able to rest, I've just bounced back. I thought I had COVID. And then I tested negative again. And then it was just like flu like symptoms. But I rested and I rested a lot. I slept a lot. And then I just bounced back. You know, I was amazed. And I believe that I have an incredibly strong immune system and that I very rarely get ill. And your mind is so, so powerful. So to believe that you have a strong immune system does wonders for you because your brain is affected the way your immune system is affected by your beliefs because your mind is always listening to you. And so you can literally make yourself ill if you believe that you're coming down with something. Yeah. Oh, I've talked about this a long time ago, but teachers, for example, expect to get ill at the end of term. Well, the brain's listening to that. So they're like, oh, okay, I'll be ill then. You know, it's a belief. It's a belief. And so if I believe that I have a strong immune system, lo and behold, I get sick a lot less. And it's incredible. Not just me. I mean, incredible about the things that the minds can do. Just all you have to do is just look up placebo effect. You know, sugar pill can make you so much better from something that you thought you were really sick, and you take this pill that you think is going to cure you when it's literally just a sugar pill and it cures you. It's your mind because you believe that you're going to get better by taking this magic pill when there's nothing in the pill. It's just your mind that has healed itself. Maybe this is another episode, isn't it? Clearly, there's so much to say about the mind and how it has the power to heal you of whatever you want it to heal you from. But yeah, you want to have beliefs that serve you and to have a belief that you are always supported and that life is happening for you rather than to you. Because this week has been hard for me in terms of seeing one of my daughters really, really struggle with chickenpox. And then for this morning, my other one to show the first signs of chickenpox and for us to be like, oh, here we go again. I don't think, I mean, at the time of recording this now, you know, we'll find out in the morning whether she's covered with spots or whether my other daughter gets it nowhere near as bad. Hopefully that's the case. But what's been hard this week is to see my daughter struggle with chickenpox. But I know that it could have been 10 times harder for me if my mindset wasn't in a place that it is at the moment and always will be. And that is staying in my intellectual mind When you stay in your intellectual mind, you have clarity, you have perspective, you don't overthink, you don't catastrophize, you don't over worry. And as a business owner, this can make or break your life. You know, you don't have to have a sick child to be a business owner and to be absolutely struggling to live in the moment. Again, there's another rabbit hole that I'm almost going down, but that's a whole business owner mindset. There's a two-part episode if you're a business owner listening to this and you've not heard that, go and listen. But mindset, you know, whether you're a business owner or not, mindset is so, so important. And we can learn so much about, well, you're here, aren't you? Duh. I was going to say we can learn so much about our mindset, but obviously this is what I'm sharing with you. Oh, my days, bear with me. Yeah, you can literally learn so much about your brain. And if you put this as your priority, then you can turn your life around by just having a strong mindset. And yeah, the same things might happen to you. But if you have an empowered mindset and an empowered way of perception, this is it. This is what it comes down to, perception. And perception is everything. How you perceive something affects how you feel, and then affects how much is in your stress bucket, and affects how you cope, and affects your relationships, and affects your actions, and affects your opportunities because of the way the subconscious mind works and the beliefs. I'm not going to get into this. This is another episode, subconscious mind. This is just a bit of a fill-in episode, really, isn't it? It's like a window to my world. What's going on in my brain this week? And then also signposting you to different episodes. And if you're wondering, like, the effects of, because positivity does get a bad rap sometimes because of society and the messages that we're fed, like in the media and stuff about positivity. And like people just don't understand how important it is because of the mind body connection. Your thoughts affect how you feel, and how you feel influences how you show up in the world and how you see the world and your experiences and everything. So it always comes back to your thoughts and your perceptions. And so positivity gets a bad rap, but if I had control of the media, it would be so different. Okay. I don't know about the rest of the world, but the UK right now, for fuck's sake, is so, so negative. And we can get stuck in these echo chambers. This is another episode that I've got for another day. I'm not going to go into this now, but people can be so, so negative. And I've heard people, quite a few people now, say to me that they are drawn to my stories on Instagram because I'm this breath of fresh air, just a pocket of positivity. And it is so much better to live your life with a positive mindset. But if you're listening to this and you're like, you're not fully convinced, go and listen to the episode on positivity. It's so powerful. It's always down to your thoughts because your thoughts can change your life. Seriously, when you understand the power of your mind, you can literally turn your life around yourself. And obviously, the work that I do is important because I'm here to guide people, because everything that you need is within you, right? To turn your life around and to live your best version of yourself, to live life joyfully and free and confidently and successfully, and to get out of your own way if you know you're in your own way, and all of this. You can do it. You can do it. It's all within you. Like, I am not the person that's going to give you what you need. I'm just going to show you how to tap into the resources that you already have. But I think I'm going to leave it there because I said right at the beginning, I don't have, well, clearly, I think I've done a good job actually to just get in the flow. And that's it, because I'm in my intellectual mind. I don't need to worry about having notes or really having a game plan as such. So I could just talk from the heart and just trust that the things that I say will land. And because I thought about, do I put an episode out next week, or do I just say, looking after my family, take a week off? I'll be back next week. And I thought, actually, no, I have the confidence to just be completely real with you. And I know that that's important to show people the ups as well as the downs. And even though this week's been really hard, I truly believe that it's happened for a reason and it's helped me grow even further, and that my message is important. My message and the things that I say, like when I just let the words flow, like I know that they have an impact. So I am glad that I just hit record, and I'm not going to say ramble because that's a little bit disrespectful for me, to me, but it feels like it's rambling because there's no notes, there's no structure. I hope you're rolling with it, but if you're not, then I don't mind. Hopefully you'll be back next week. But if you're not, doesn't matter, you know. Not that I don't value every single one of you. I do. I meant if I'm not your person, then that is fine with me. I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I shared whatever I've shared so far. I think it's important to just speak from the heart, be authentic, know that this one is a little bit more rough and ready, and that that's okay. I hope that by me showing up in this way gives you inspiration or permission to, like, for example, if you're a business owner, to not like feel like you can only show up when it's all fine and dandy, because actually when you show up in your vulnerability, that's really powerful because people are looking up to you. And it's not even, I'm not even just talking to entrepreneurs there, people in life. It's just allowing yourself to be vulnerable. It is a good thing. Also, just to say, I hope to be back next week, but we never know what's going to happen, do we? I don't know what's going to happen. I'm sure that this time next week, all will be rosy and I'll be back at it with a nice structured episode for you, but I'm not guaranteeing anything. So it is what it is. And I really hope that you are well. And I hope that this, whatever I've said at some point in this episode, has been worth your while listening and has landed with you in some way. Sending you all lots of love, and also thanking you if you are sending love my way. I will hopefully see you next week. Bye. My mission with this podcast and why I started it was to serve. And so I really hope that everything I've shared with you today and in previous episodes is serving you and helping you to change your life. It requires consistent action. It requires effort. But if you're willing to put in the work, then you can absolutely change a great deal just by listening to me and implementing my advice. However, if you're listening and you would like to work with me, then obviously I work too. I do solution-focused hypnotherapy and much more. And my program is called Change Your Life. And it's a program that I'm really proud of. So if you're interested in this and would like some more information about how it works and whether it would be right for you, then do get in touch with me via the information in the show notes. Thanks again for listening. And if you enjoyed this episode, I would love for you to share it with a friend or stick it up on stories on Instagram and tag me at Believe and Achieve with Jenna. See you next week.